If you ask someone, what does flirting mean to you? How would you define it? More than likely, they would say, I know it when I see it, I know it when I do it, and I know it when someone flirts with me. Really? How sure are you? The source of all wisdom, Wikipedia, tells us the following. Flirting or coquetry is a social and sexual behavior involving spoken or written communication as well as body language. It is either to suggest interest in a deeper relationship with another person, or, if done playfully, for amusement. It usually involves speaking and behaving in a way that suggests a mildly greater intimacy than the actual relationship between the parties would justify. Wow. There's a lot to, as they'd say nowadays, unpack here. Let's begin with the statement that flirting is a social and sexual behavior. There has been a fair amount of research as to why people flirt. However, before we dive into that, let's think for a moment about flirting as a sexual behavior. If people flirt because they want to have sex, why do people want to have sex? Got you there. As usual, the psychologists have a lot to say about that, and not just on a theoretical basis as our sponsor, French psychoanalyst Jacques Lacan, has done. In a groundbreaking study by Cindy M. Meston of the Department of Psychology, University of Texas, Austin, and David Buss, entitled Why Humans Have Sex, they developed a questionnaire which includes every reason you could possibly imagine for having sex, and some you can't. It was a favor to someone. I wanted to have more sex than my friends. I was curious about my sexual abilities. The person was mysterious. Clearly a reason why women want to have sex with me, but I digress. I wanted to get a job. I wanted to feel used or degraded. I wanted to feel love. I wanted the person to feel good about herself. I wanted to gain control of the person. Interesting. I wanted to make sure that the person was committed to me. Of course, that could backfire. I wanted to decrease my partner's desire to have sex with someone else. I wanted to burn calories. I wanted to give someone else a sexually transmitted disease such as HIV or herpes. Gosh, people have sex for that reason? I wanted to hurt or humiliate the person I was having sex with. The person smelled nice. I thought it would help me to fall asleep. And I wanted to get closer to God. I could make another bad joke and suggest that this is another reason why women want to have sex with me. Hopefully no one out there is listening too carefully. That having been said, Meston and Buss could identify only this one item which associated sex with spirituality. Ever since the beginning of the New Age movement, or train of thought, or whatever, authorities have been saying either you will have better sex if you approach it as a spiritual act, or sex can be a way to enhance your spirituality. And yet, this New Age view appears to have had little impact on the sample Meston and Buss used in their research. I offer this as a challenge to my viewers. Why do you, presumably as a human, have sex or want to have sex? Another, possibly even more difficult question to ask yourself might be, what are the right and wrong reasons for having sex or for wanting to have sex? On Meston's questionnaire, they include, I felt rebellious. But rebellious against what? The religious values you were brought up with? Or against the parental or societal precept that you should save yourself for marriage? A brief divagation will be imposed on you here. Over 30 years ago, J.A. Simpson and S.W. Grenenstad developed what they called a sexual orientation inventory. This could and can be administered to psych students and others to determine something about their sexuality. Basically, in old-fashioned parlance, how permissive they are. All of the listeners to Explore Ecstatic Sensuality should take this test. Test questions include, how many partners have you had sex, intercourse, or oral sex with in the past year? With how many partners will you probably have sex, intercourse, or oral, over the next 5 years? How many partners have you had sexual intercourse or oral sex on a one and only one occasion basis? In this connection, I highly recommend our popular and award-winning episode entitled The Joy of Casual Sex, Hookups, Booty Calls, Sports Sex, One-Night Stands. Who needs a relationship when you can have it all? That episode is here on Spotify, YouTube, and everywhere fine podcasts are sold. When in a stable, committed relationship, how often would you fantasize about sex with someone other than your current partner? And sex without love is okay. Our version of the sexual orientation inventory might include, in addition, love without sex is okay. Or, how many times have you had sex, intercourse, or oral sex with someone for whom you felt no attraction for or interest in whatsoever? In other words, you're having sex just to have sex. Or, how many times have you had sex in the presence of other people? Kind of interesting questions. But not in Simpson and Gangestad's inventory, which I remind you again was developed over 30 years ago. Times change. Talking about such things, I highly recommend our other award-winning, highly popular episode entitled Monogamy, Swapping, Swinging, Open Relationships, Threesomes, the Lifestyle. Which one of these is right for you? To return to why humans have sex, here, according to them, are the most frequently endorsed reasons for having intercourse. Number 1, pure attraction to the other person in general. 2, experiencing physical pleasure. 3, as an expression of love. 4, having sex because of feeling desire for someone. Having sex because of feeling desired by someone. 5, having sex to escalate the depth of the relationship. 6, curiosity, seeking out new experiences. 7, making a special occasion for celebration. 8, mere opportunity. And 9, sex just happening due to seemingly uncontrollable circumstances. Suffice it to say that procreation, I want to make a baby, as John Cassavetes says to Mia Farrow in the movie Rosemary's Baby, was not listed in Meston and Buss's questionnaire. To hold on to him by getting pregnant was not an item people could choose. Neither was to hold on to her by getting her pregnant. How often, it seems to us, do psychologists leave unexplored crucial aspects of relationship and sexual dynamics? Flirting. Why we do it, how we do it, and how women and men can flirt successfully to get what they want. This week on Explore Ecstatic Sensuality, the only podcast that always gives you a happy ending.